Hello everyone, it's Ryan Liberty, and in this video I'll be answering the question, what is avoidance coping? No.
Ooh, ah.
Okay everybody, come back in here, that's okay, I'm not really shooing you away. I wanted to do a video on avoidance coping, and I did a little homework before I started the video, of course, and I came up with where I think the term may have kind of solidified, and that is with a paper that was written in July of 1986 by Susan Roth and Lawrence J. Cohen. It was published in American Psychologist, which is an APA publication, and they basically were just summarizing what they have seen in the research so far regarding trauma and how people cope with trauma. And what they observed was that when you go over all the research that was done up to that point, it seemed like people were kind of choosing to deal with trauma in one of two directions. And, people will swing back and forth between those, but they found that people were either using what they called avoidance coping or approach coping to handle trauma. So they defined avoidance, well, before I say that, this is not supposed to be like a real clear definition. It's really just a metaphor for the way that people deal with things. So there's no like straight definition of this is what avoidance coping is and this is what approach coping is. It's just an orientation towards the way that you choose to cope with stress and trauma. And it's not a permanent thing. It's not like you always do avoidance coping or you always do approach coping. It's just simply that these two polarities seem to be the different directions that people go in. So avoidance coping is things such as, just quick examples, minimizing, distraction, outright denial. So just, minimizing could be like minimizing your feelings, minimizing what happened to you. Distraction could be diving deeper into your work. It could be playing video games and trying to like ignore what's going on. Denial was just, not even accepting that something happened to you, maybe not speaking about it. You could go into addictions, drug use, overeating, things like that, oversleeping, and you may also do things like isolate yourself from people, specifically people who try to get you to challenge or remind you of your trauma or want you to face it, to move towards an approach strategy. They may actually get you to move more towards an avoidance coping strategy. So avoidance coping is not necessarily a bad thing. It has a benefit, which is that it reduces stress in the moment and it gives you the time to build up the courage to face the trauma or the stress and to start to build up some hope that you can face it and get through it. However, avoidance coping has a lot of drawbacks as well. Things like emotional numbness, which interferes with your relationships with people. It generally gives you a lack of awareness about the way that you're feeling, lack of awareness about how you relate to the world. With some of that denial comes a lack of awareness. And it also prevents you from being able to face the trauma, of course, because it's avoiding, it's not approaching, and taking appropriate action that would help you to actually heal, because avoidance, as long as you're doing avoidance coping, you're not taking the steps to actually heal. You are coping, which is always a good thing, and it's, I would never say to heal from trauma that you should not avoid, because I think that has a time and a place. It helps you to get through the day-to-day. However, if you only go towards avoidance coping and you never swing back in the other direction and do a little bit of approach coping as well, then I believe for most people, you're not going to be able to resolve the trauma that's going on within you. So that is my quick overview of what avoidance coping looks like. If you've seen these behaviors in yourself, you feel like sharing it up with everybody else here to say, you know what, you're not the only one, I do it too, please leave that below. I know I've done many of these myself, so don't be embarrassed. And I appreciate you taking the time to learn about avoidance coping with me. Thank you. Hey, it's Ryan Liberty. If you like that video, please give it a thumbs up, share with a friend, and leave any questions or comments down below because that would really help me out. If you're somebody who's gone through a traumatic event and you're feeling cut off from the people around you, I have a free course that will help with that, so please click to get it. And if you'd like to see the rest of my videos, please click subscribe. As always, I want to remind you that your life matters. Nobody can question your worth. However it is that you're feeling, whatever it is that you're going through, it's okay and you are loved. Thanks again for watching.